Usamos estampillas postables.
Close enough.
You are now tuned in to your number one radio station.
Violent people.
Radio.
Hey there, folks. Welcome to Violent People Radio. This is episode 56. I am one of your hosts, Sam DeBascio, and with me, per usual, Dan Rice. Dan, how you doing?
Happy to be here.
And also with us, Pat. Pat, how you doing?
I'm so glad that my headset reconnected just in time to hear that. My headset lost connection for a second while you were talking, while you were introducing. I could tell you were introducing Dan because Dan lit up on my screen. But just as you were saying Pat, it was like, okay, the headset works again.
So you didn't hear that when he introduced me, I said, fuck Pat.
I could kind of tell just because you were talking.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right.
But
a little a fuck Pat sense about you. And
I just assume it's in his heart.
Last but certainly not least, Chris. Chris, how we doing?
Fuck Pat.
Got him. Boom, roasted. Well, that's an episode, guys. Thanks for being on. I really appreciate it.
We gotta start with.
Kidding.
We gotta start with. Where the hell you been, man?
I just been gallivanting. And I said, I don't want to be here this week or the last week. So I wasn't.
Sometimes you gotta roam.
A couple of weeks back, doing stuff for my wife's birthday. Last week, work was just shitty, and I said, I'm gonna go hang out with my wife tonight, and that's what I did. And then this week, I was like, sorry, woman, I gotta talk to the boys. So here we are. Does that break it down for you enough, Dan?
That covers it for me. I feel like it's cool though, because you've probably watched so much wrestling that this is gonna be about 60 minutes of just you talking about all the wrestling you've watched.
As always, that's kind of how we do it here on Violent People Radio. Is I talk about all the wrestling I've been watching. I don't remember the last time I was on an episode, but I've clearly watched a ton. First up, let's talk about the War Chamber. I think that's the most important thing on the docket for this evening. Dan, how did you like this more than the Battle Riot? What are you smoking?
First off, did I say I liked it? Did I say I liked the match more than the Battle Riot?
Yes, I do think that's the case.
Oh,
I do think I said I liked.
No, I said I liked it more than all of the WWE War Games matches.
You definitely said that. That, which also probably wrong, but less wrong than the implication. Let's call it the implication of the Battle Riot.
I did like it more than the Battle Riot. I didn't remember saying that.
I see.
Shorter.
I listened.
I enjoyed the ending more. There's that. That's all I got.
C.W. Anderson is the best part of that match. And I like C.W. Anderson. But that's probably not the spot you want to be in with your big match like this. Also, C.W. Anderson, pretty good. You're
sending me mixed signals right here.
Coward.
We can all agree that's bullshit. I'm not gonna deny that.
They talked about some foot injury that he had. And I'm like, who gives a shit? Also, I think you're working me. Because I'm seeing about a dozen Paul Walter Hauser trailers on the TV these days. He's everywhere. He's a big star. Anyway, I don't share the same sentiment on the Dummy XO match, as in it is terrible. What else do we got here? I think, yeah, Errol Dominguez versus Myron Reed, best thing on the show.
Lightning match.
It's a lightning match.
Brand new match
Best,
type.
best thing on the
Fourth hour.
show because it goes 3 minutes.
Yep. It's a fun 3 minutes. It's a fun 3 minutes. Everything else is not very good. I also did not really watch the opener, I will say, because I couldn't figure out where it started. And once I got skipped around and I was like, I'm not fine with this bell's ringing. I don't know what part's angle. Also, who's actually in this match? I don't care enough to find that out. Let's move on here. So my opinion is wasted, unfortunately.
Did you guys see that? I mean, this news might have been out there, but that Brett Ryan Gosselin is supposedly leaving MLW, which I guess makes the ending of
For
that match make
where?
more sense. That's my question.
Just leaving the business, probably. That seems like the most likely outcome.
It feels like when Alex Kane says he's leaving, I feel like both these guys are just going to be right back.
Yeah, he needs to spend there. You think he's just working on a handshake deal? That's all that matters for Alex Kane? That's him leaving?
Yeah, that's what I got to think. That like I'm no longer under contract. I will still come anytime court calls me.
One thing
I
we
do
didn't
not
talk
have another
about
job.
with War Chamber last week was how Brett Ryan Gosselin had basically a bowl cut. I don't know what was going on with his hair, but he looked. I have no idea if like that's part of his gimmick that he's supposed to look like he's wearing Eric Foreman's wig, but I found it very distracting.
Well, it's bad hair, worse body.
Oh, come
Even worse
on.
wrestling.
Yeah, that's true.
No. BRG, second best wrestler in this match.
Oh my god,
Second,
no.
second best wrestler in this match. I think we got some BRG haters in the Discord.
I would put him.
think-
I'd put him fourth or fifth.
Oof. Behind fucking who? I would give you
Behind-
Alex Kane.
And Mr. Thomas and Matthew Justice and obviously CW Anderson.
No. I think it's so stupid that Matthew Justice's big spot is jumping off the top of the cage. And the whole point is it's barbed wire and they made no big stink about it. It's like, who gives a shit? Matthew Justice has to do his jump off a little high object business. It's
It's his
barbed-
thing.
Yeah, it's barbed wire. It's supposed to stop the thing. That's what makes it interesting. Find something different to do. Anyway, I did watch more than I usually do in a week. So
Because you had 3 of them.
I had 3 of them. I don't know if we want to really talk about most of it. I decided like, hey, let me watch anything that looks interesting from ROH this year. That seems like a great use of my time. And that
I'm
turned out
excited to hear about the half a match that we're about to hear about.
I went through 6 months of shows. I found 7 matches that I thought were interesting. Most of them not good. One really good though. Commander versus Dark Panther from March 5th. Everyone should go seek that out. I don't know what compelled them to have this match where Commander works underneath for pretty much the entire match. And Dark Panther gets to be this kind of Iceman like presence there, just picking him apart for 90% of this thing. And Commander just gets to do a few high spots and they blow your mind, and that's it. It's a great match. You should go watch it. I can't tell you to watch pretty much any of these other matches. Maybe AR Fox versus Kevin Knight, also from that March 5th show. The March 5th episode, actually, just in general, is a good episode of TV. I don't think it aired on March 5th. That's just the recording date, but half the matches that I found that were interesting were from that show. So do with that information what you will. Pretty much after that March 5th episode, all of the CMLL guys seemed to be gone, and I could not care past that. I've also decided, hey, I should watch some Gleet. Which which will be my pet Japan project for who knows how long, as I watched the June 11th show, their first show of 2015. I mean 2025. Downloaded this off Extreme Wrestling Torrents. They got a whole package of stuff because I'm not paying money to subscribe to their YouTube channel. These fucking premium YouTube channels. Who's doing this? Why are we doing this? I'll pay for it if you're CMLL, obviously, for like 2 months and give you 70 bones. But Glee,
Wait, is Gleet's doing that gimmick now too? They used to be for free on YouTube.
they got shit that's you can pay for.
That's crazy.
They got to fly in Mr. Iguana before he can't work any more dates.
That's so true. That's so true. I skipped the Iguana match because I didn't skip it. I watched it for a minute and then I was like, well, this sucks. Not watching this. Anyway, I have shockingly positive feelings about Soma Watanabe versus Kato Ishida, the main event, which is like fucking 30 minutes. And I shouldn't like it, but they show me like a wrinkle of, oh, this is interesting every like 3 minutes. And then also do some of the most aggravating shit between those moments. So, whatever. All right. What else did I watch? Thomas Shire versus Mad Dog Connolly from DPW. It's good, not as good as I want it to be. I decided to watch all of DPW Victory Lap. Did anyone watch any of this week?
Yeah, I watched one match.
Oh, what match you watch?
The
Do you remember?
Tremont. Yeah, Mad Dog.
How are you feeling about it?
I liked it. I was
Wow.
really hyped. I prefer like their work in the tag match and their work in that what was it, like the gauntlet match or whatever from Vegas. Had me just, it's my own fault, like had me so fucking hyped for it that like I don't think they were hitting the level I want. Having said that, the match rules. It's a really fun match. It just didn't meet the standard that I had set in my mind for it.
This is my match of the year right now.
That's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. It's great. It's phenomenal.
Tell Mad Dog to fucking tighten up a little bit if we're gonna call that match of the year.
What'd you just say?
He needs to tighten up.
Tighten
Some of those strikes are
Oh.
fucking garbage.
Oh, I disagree. There's a lariat to the back of the head in this match that made me squeal. I was
You
loving
squiggled?
it. Squealed like a little pig. Like, you know?
See,
heard
this is where my disconnect
squiggle.
is that like I said, I don't want to like shit in the match because I did like it, but I wanted to feel that. I wanted to come out saying match of the fucking year, and it wasn't there for me.
You wanted to squiggle.
Oh, man.
I wanted to squiggle all over.
Yeah, you gotta squiggle all over the place, guys. Come on. Get to the squiggling. Anyway, show of the year hype for this from Joseph and others, I think. Maybe just Joseph. I don't know. People are in the bag for DPW. And my short answer is I can't say no outright, being I do love that match so much. And there's other stuff on the show I like and think it's good. Like I think the opener is a lot of fun. Bo Jack and Morgan Dash versus Jackson Drake and Manny Lowe. BK Westbrook should not be a babyface. He looks like a pervert. So I just don't think you should have a pervert as a babyface. The Kobe Carino, Jake Something versus Kevin Blackwood and Thomas Shire match is whatever. Not really interesting at all. Kobe Carino looks bad in it. Daniel Luna versus Nicole Matthews. I think it's good. This is my first Daniel Luna match, so I had no idea what to expect. Shan't light my world on fire. But it seemed good. I liked it.
Is it weird that Colby Carino's like 28 and he's maybe done?
No, that can't be right. That's a lie.
There's
Well,
no
that
way.
man-
He's got to be. Yeah, he's exactly 28.
That's
He's
36.
36.
He turned 28
He's-
today.
Yeah, today's his birthday. Happy
You gotta
birthday.
be shitting me.
You're fucking old and washed.
Fucking
Happy birthday.
He's got a whole second and third career left to go at this pace.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Holy
saying. Like
shit.
we have so much more Colby left. I just don't know if we'll get it or want
Where
it.
do we go from here? Well, that's I don't know what to do with that information, Dan. I don't know.
That's upsetting.
Really sorry, guys.
Kozone versus Lee. I want to call it a dud. I'm gonna call it a dud. I think that match is not good, and you shouldn't watch it. Adam Priest versus Calvin Tankman. Conversely, great. Absolutely watch it. Love Adam Priest. He should not. This match shouldn't work, where he works on top of Calvin Tankman for the whole thing, but it does, and it's marvelous. Decided to watch Matt Tremont versus Slade versus Kaplan.
Ooh.
Were you at that one, Pat?
What's that?
Was that the one you were at in March for ICW?
Oh yes.
That match rocks.
No, that's great match. That is probably of the stuff I've watched close to my match of the year, but that's also because I'm very behind on watching stuff. But if I'm gonna have a match of the year, I would hope that it is as needlessly violent as those 8 minutes.
The pool of blood that Kaplan leaves on the floor in this one is sickening and beautiful.
And he was, after the show, he was selling his homemade jerky looking
Hell
like
yeah.
he had just been in a car accident.
Hell
That's
yeah.
amazing.
The
No,
only
he
reason
looked-
I didn't buy any was because I was like, this can't be sanitary.
No, this match is a hoot, a true hoot. Love it dearly. Matt Tremont versus Beastman from March from GCW. Anyone got any hot takes on Beastman?
I think that deathmatch Facebook is too hard on him. They hate him. They
Oh,
fucking hate his
shit.
guts. Yeah, they can't stand him.
I think if he had better gear, he
Yeah.
would get less hate.
Did he is he the one that fell like Shockmaster coming out at GCW Tournament Survival? I think he did. I think I saw
I'm trying
that.
to remember.
I was about to watch Tournament of Survival today, and then I saw what the main event was and how long
That's-
it lasted.
That's what
and
I said
went-
last week.
I went,
I was like,
I'm good
no
for today."
way.
We'll circle back for the end of the year because Tremont is hitting too many good things to the point where when we're talking DP 100, it's gonna get spicy. It's gonna get spicy. Pork's already laying the foundation here, so I'm glad for that. Glad to see him back in the Discord. Shout out Pork. Shout out Pat who just left us. Welcome back.
Yeah, you complimented
my-
Pork and he left.
My
Shit.
headphones are having issues. They keep dropping out. So I tried hopping out and hopping back in, seeing if that psyched my headphones into behaving.
Beastman can't bump. That man is too big, but also just like refuses to bump. It's embarrassing. And then
Like
I see Matt
Karrion
Tremont.
Cross.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing this week was that the Karrion Cross discourse, and now I guess there's discourse about like CM Punk hitting a kid or something.
Shit, I missed that.
That's cool.
Uh,
Why
I
that
don't
happen?
think he's done since he went back.
yeah, so there's footage of him in like walking around in Saudi Arabia, and there's he doesn't hit a kid, but there's a kid that walks.
He
up to
pushes the
him.
kid away.
Yeah, he pushes the kid away.
The kid has both his arms outstretched, ready for a hug. And nope.
That rocks. Sorry, kids. We're busy. Anyway, after Beastman takes the lousiest bump from the apron to the floor, essentially landing on his feet and then just falling down onto some chairs, Tremont, almost like a minute later, takes a from the top rope to the floor, pretty much having a door slide beneath his ass, so he falls back first onto the ground. Tremont's got it right now. Tremont's taken the scariest bumps he has in years. Fucking rules. Love it. Lots. I'd also watch the Tremont and what's this shitty student's name versus Mad Dog Conley and Beastman from JCW.
Oh, which one? Like you say
That's the shit I
Tremont's
know.
shitty student, and
Like
that
that's gonna
could be
narrow
like
it down. Bam.
that could be
Sullivan.
like 3 dozen people.
Bam Sullivan. Bam Sullivan, truly one of the worst you'll ever see do it. Just you got 3 men in this match bleeding buckets, and then Bam's just got the tiniest little cut above his eyes. And it's like,
I got to tell you, if you think Bam Sullivan is bad, you need to watch some H2O where Bam Sullivan is like
Easily one of the best.
Yeah, he is at the top level of Matt Tremont's H2O crew.
Tremont, one of the worst trainers you can like. Has he got the biggest discrepancy between like talent and trainees?
You would think that he'd be able to train people to do good promos at least.
Yeah, nothing what he is good at seems to translate to any of the people he trains.
Yeah, what is he doing? Can we investigate this?
This is great. Yeah.
We are all going to sign up. Undercover.
I mean, I feel like we fit the prototype of Matt Tremont trainees.
We can make it work. We can make it work. Anyway, that's kind of the long ass rundown of what I was watching over the past few weeks. Dan, what have you been watching?
I'm watching some stuff. I wanted to tell a quick story. I think I told you guys in Discord, but I went to see Brand New on Tuesday, a band with no problematic things about them. And the way this venue's set up is it has like the pit, and then there's like a part in between where there's tables and you can't buy those tables, and then there's just like 50 seats, and then there's a lawn, and you can only buy the 50 seats, and they were like $1 billion. Couldn't get them. But the day of, when you show up, I guess those tables in the middle are for like VIP, season ticket holders. So if they don't RSVP by that day, they'll let you upgrade on the day of. So I upgrade. Me and my sister's seat, we get a table, and they just put 2 random people with you. And this guy shows up, and I'm pretty drunk, so I can't tell you exactly how this starts. But somehow my sister yells, "This guy is a pro wrestling podcast." And this guy's like, "Oh man, I wrote a book about WMAC Masters and like talked a lot to Mike Bailey." And he's just like a giant pro wrestling nerd. And he's like asking me about like Dayton Fairgrounds. And he got into Chikara after the shutdown, which I think he's the only human to do that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was asking about like pre-shutdown Chikara.
I would have been fearing for my life at that point. Like, get me away from this fucking freak.
But no, he was a good guy.
Talking about Chikara at a Brand New show.
A little on the nose.
I will say, good husband, definitely a wife guy, didn't seem to give a shit about Brand New. He had like headphones in, was just getting her drinks and merch.
Oh yeah.
And just it was not he said, "Where can I sit that is the least in everyone's way?" Was like, I think that's how he introduced himself. And I thought like, all right, cool. But his name's Christopher Landis. His book's Quest for the Dragon Star. So there's a free plug because he was a good guy.
He followed the Twitter.
He did follow Twitter. Okay, all right. But yeah, I'm like, you make a friend at 37, you gotta talk about it on podcast.
Yeah, in relation to
his profile picture.
Oh, I hope so. Maybe we can get Max to unblock me.
Or John. Well, if he's related to Max, he's related to John.
Yeah, it'd be tough to relate to just one of them. Well, I watched the Mad Dog Matt Tremont match. Since I'm gonna shit on matches people liked, I watched Despy versus Jun Kasai that people were fucking losing their minds about. And I think it's got to be a thing for the most part of people who only watch death matches when like Desperado does them and aren't like Jun Kasai fans or Freedom fans or Big Japan fans, because it just seemed like a 30-minute Jun Kasai match, like overly long, lots of forearm exchanges. And I mean, both those guys, Despy and Kasai, both are two of the coolest fucking looking wrestlers ever. And they have a lot of aura, and that carries it so far. And if it was, 13 minutes, I probably would be like, that was a fucking fun time, but it was legitimately half an hour. And there was lots of fucking bullshit afterwards. I didn't care about any of it. So I can't recommend that. Someone on the Discord said to watch Will Cruz versus Daike Odashima. And I've come out as an Odashima guy despite not watching Noah. And Will Cruz is like a big fat guy from England.
Sorry, is that Japanese guy, the short tiny one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Will Cruz, not the best, but he's like a legitimately huge guy. And he just smashes Odashima. And like I love that's the only matches of him I watched, are him getting squashed. And he's so good at it though. He has just so many bag of tricks, like such a big bag of tricks to sell for a guy who hasn't been wrestling for a year. I mean, it's only 5 minutes, but like if you should go out of your way to watch it. It was like I said, Will Cruz had some things where he was like clearly waiting for spots, which I think he has way more time in than Odashima, but he just eats him up. And there's like one or two hope spots that are just timed perfectly, and this was a real fucking good time. And then I watched Demus versus Mascarita Dorada from Real Midget Wrestling.
Hell yeah!
This is Mascarita Dorada's promotion, I believe. He just started this. This is actually on El Duque de la Lucha's YouTube channel. He posted it, but like it's really weird because it has official RMW branding, and there's like they do instant replays and stuff, and there's like chyrons and stuff, but I could not find any where it's actually posted by Real Midget Wrestling. So I have no idea where the file came from or why it's on El Duque de la Lucha Libre's page. But you should check out his page anyway, because he has a interview with Demus, like a 30-minute long interview that he translates and dubs into English. Now, obviously, I can't confirm the accuracy, but it was interesting to listen to. It was fun because Demus says it spends a lot of time talking about how if he was reincarnated or came back, how he would not be a wrestler. He said most wrestlers would say otherwise, but he said wrestling's really hard. He wouldn't do it again if he had to. But it came off fun, not like a sad way, because he also said that he is doing fine and that he's happy with his career and how much money he's made. And he said if he ever got hurt and couldn't wrestle again, it wouldn't be a thing where there'd need to be a tribute show or donations from fans. He would just be done. He could just walk away, but that's pretty fucking cool to hear. The match was really fun, and one of those things where it's like there's only 30-40 people in the audience, but they're having the time of their lives because it's just like Demus and Dorada like doing their thing. They're walking and brawling. They get a random kid in the audience gets involved. There's one attractive woman that Demus is making sure he goes over to a whole lot. So there's lots of the hardcore spots, lots of the chair spots. They do their grappling that they're known for too, and it's just, I mean, it's probably, I don't know, less than 15 minutes. It's hard to tell because the file is 31 minutes because this is like peak lucha. Afterwards there is a bunch of run-ins and then a impromptu battle royal that I think Dorado wins, and then there's hair versus mask challenges thrown about. So just all of the key tropes being hit for people that are checking out Real Midget Wrestling. This is in Texas, and then I just think this whole scene is very interesting because this match fucking rules, and like very few people are gonna see it. And then Demus leaves this, and then he tours with that other one, the Warrior Wrestling. They're doing like a month in Canada or something. And it's just like this whole vibrant scene that's clearly making some kind of money. And it's just for the live people that are checking out, Real Midget Wrestling. But that is really all I watched that was noteworthy in the last week.
Well, keep us informed in the Real Midget Wrestling or just the various micro wrestlers that are out there in the universe. That would be hugely appreciated.
Try my best. Oh, Damus, which funny. Also in the interview, which again, I don't speak Spanish, so I can't confirm it. And talk shit. He's like, I don't like that. I was like, I only do this in America. I don't want to face the minis in Mexico. I'm too good for that. Basically, I thought that was really funny.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Pat, what are you watching?
I have been caught up in this heat wave that is affecting our great nation. I have been too exhausted to watch wrestling. I did listen to the Rule Breakers with Saraya podcast. I can give you an update on 2 of the recent episodes. First off, the Gabby Tuft episode is pretty much literally pornographic. You can take that in any possible way you want. If you want to know about Gabby Tuft's sex life on Grindr, that's the episode for you. If you don't want to know about that, then perhaps don't listen. The other episode was, I'm trying to remember the guy who plays Art the Clown in Terrifier. What's his name? Someone tell me his name now.
I'm getting called out and embarrassed. I can't think of his name.
Damn, that's
His
so
name is guy
embarrassing.
who plays Art the Clown. And he had an interview
David
with,
Howard Thornton. I definitely didn't Google it just now.
thank you. He had an interview where he and Saraya talked about the Joker and how much he wants to play the Joker for, let's say, 10 million years.
Well, that seems wrong.
That is the entire like like you. There are a few backstage stories about what it was like working on the Terrifier movies, and then 90% of the interview is him talking about how much he wants to play the Joker, how much he likes different versions of the Joker character. If you really want to know Art the Clown's thoughts on the Joker, 100% recommend.
All right. I'm going to give that a listen now that you've really made me feel comfortable.
It looks
with
like he's
this.
played the Joker in a short film, and he
Yeah,
looks
he was in like a
horrifying.
fan. He was in like a fan film.
I hate it. I hate looking at it.
Oh, come on.
I love
don't be mean.
Joker guys. Joker guys are some of our coolest guys.
It's true. It's true.
Has guys done an episode on Joker guys? I'm not caught up on guys. I feel like that's a kind of guy they would do.
It makes me think of when I was in college, one of the classes, they did one of those icebreaker things where it's like, say your name, where you're from, your favorite movie. And one guy who looked exactly like what you would think of from the phrase Joker guy said his favorite movie was The Dark Knight. And this quote is burned into my brain because of all the psychology of it. No explanation of what that means. It was just a movie that had a lot of psychology.
I love when a movie has psychology. I actually have a psychology tag on Letterboxd that I use for when movies have a lot of psychology.
It
How
was
was
like
the limb
somehow
work in Dark Knight?
I was gonna say somehow he made the phrase even more meaningless than when wrestling fans.
Impressive.
But the limb work in Dark Knight was pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, there's face work in The Dark Knight. You don't get that very often, like face work. Harvey Dent really gets that like worked over really well.
I will say Maggie Gyllenhaal, she took a crazy bump. We got to respect her for that.
Love that. Love that.
She had a better explosive death match than half of Onita's.
Nice. Is that it? Is that what we got?
That's all I got, man. I watched nothing this week.
I get it.
I got home from work and I'm like, I'm just gonna lay here and not think.
No worries, because I know someone who has watched a lot of wrestling this week. Chris, what you been watching?
Well, I already told you guys in the chat. Literally do not remember what I watched of Lucha this week compared to last week. So I'm not even going to try. And then I was like, oh, I could watch some Lucha today, and then I'll remember the Lucha I watched today. And Lucha DB was down, so I didn't. But if you want to find out what Lucha I've all been watching and what I recommend, wait about, I'd say a week. I'd say by this time next week, you'll know. But I did watch after like I could not get Lucha DB to load, so I was like, all right, I can't look at the rest of these February cards. Let's see what's on IWTV in the recent section. And something caught my eye right away. It was Ruthless Pro Wrestling. Face Eater is the name of the show. And because I only had like an hour and a half before we recorded, I made sure to watch the main event first. Because the main event for the Ruthless Pro Wrestling Rust Belt title is Lil Sicko versus Drake Younger, the Rust Belt champion.
That's good stuff.
That is, like, you already see the name Face Eater from a deathmatch promotion, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm in. And then you see that it's Drake versus Lil Sicko. And if our listeners, I think we've talked a little bit about Lil Sicko before. If you're not familiar, he pretty much only worked IWA Deep South until like last year. And he was like the only guy that had like actual wrestling talent, but still was a like freak that works IWA Deep South matches. So he's awesome. He wears clown makeup.
He's a
We love
Joker
our
guy.
Joker guys.
Yeah.
He is if Darby Allin was a Joker.
That is very true. He is if Darby Allin was a Joker. And this year he is starting to work a lot more deathmatch promotions. Outside of Deep South, he's also worked he worked the Cage of Survival show. He worked Loco Wrestling, Ruthless Pro, obviously, ICW No Holds Barred, Horror Slam. Like, the word is out on Lil Sicko. And I was worried because this match is like over 20 minutes and it's like a light tube House of Horrors match. And so it's like, all right, how, like, is this going to get boring? And it doesn't. Drake is having, like, you don't want to hand it to Drake Younger.
You might have to hand it to him.
You might have to
hand it to him.
Hand
You
it to
might
him.
have to be. We might have to hand it to Drake Younger this year.
VP 100s.
VP 100 season. We might
Yeah,
have
fuck
to
that.
hand it to Drake Younger. He's got the Gulak match. He's got this. This match is pretty sick. Lil Sicko is awesome. He's just, he's a freak bumper. They're just throwing all kinds of light tubes at each other, rolling around in the glass. Really like reveling in it, and it's disgusting, and like Drake's like comes across as a piece of shit. Little Sicko comes across as a piece of shit. Like everyone on the show. I mean, we're not at like deathmatch basement vibes. But everyone that I saw on the show could work the deathmatch basement. It was just like really gross and had the vibes you want from like maybe 100 people in like some like Florida indie wrestling venue. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. Drake looks better than he has. Like, he's had his moments in the past few years, but he looks pretty good. I went through the undercard of the show with the exception of 2 matches, which I didn't have time for. The opener is Otis Kogar versus Jameson Shook. A nice bloody match. But it's like it's Otis. There's gonna be some moments where it just really looks like shit. So before the blood, it's kind of rough, but luckily, like, this match is like 6 minutes long, so he's not getting too gassed out there. Emphasis on too gassed. Second match is maybe the funniest match on the show. It's the Hardcore Hillbilly, another Deep South legend, versus a guy I have never heard of before, Beastly, who's another like big fat beard guy.
Wonder if he has a cage match profile.
He does.
Wow.
And
Genuinely was not expecting that.
yeah, he's like a veteran. Like when I looked it up earlier, he was like, who the fuck is this guy? Have I seen him under like a different gimmick? And like he's done like extra work for NXT, and he's worked like Evolve dark matches. But no, I haven't like actually seen a match of his before tonight. But this match was very bad. Very slow plotting, brawling. Like Hardcore Hillbilly, I have a soft spot for him, but he's not very good. He's definitely no Lil Sicko when it comes to guys that have made their bones working IWA Deep South the past few years. And then the third match is for the Ruthless Pro title. Not the Rust Belt title, but just their main title is Hoodfoot, the champion, defends against Sean Campbell, who is a guy that I have seen before, but always forget that I've seen before. He's like a Tennessee guy that works like the SCI and TWE Chattanooga and Action Wrestling. And it's fine. Like, it's a title defense. That's the third match on the show that goes like a little over 10 minutes. It's not Hoodfoot's best effort. He's He doesn't look like he's really locked in. I will once again forget who Sean Campbell is in 2 days. So overall, I can't speak for Lindsay Snow versus JJ Escobar or the Bobby Beverly defense of the Kamikaze title against Nathan Mowry. But an overall, like, whatever show that is headlined by one of my matches of, it's not one of my matches of the year, but a very fun Drake Younger Lil Sicko match. I just wanted to say it was one of my matches of the year because everyone else is talking about their matches of the year.
I set up straight when you said that. I was like, oh man.
Love it. I love it. Any other matches you want to heap praises on?
Trying to think of if there's anything else I watched. Last night I turned on a little bit of like the AEW Summer Blockbuster show. That has, it opens with the Swerve Will Ospreay 30-minute draw. And I mean, I know most of like you guys have no interest in a Will Ospreay Swerve Strickland 30-minute draw.
Sounds pretty bad.
You know, I thought it was decent, but knowing they go to the 30-minute draw beforehand didn't help me any, and then also I think they pretty obviously start working towards the draw very early on. I think it has some very fun moments. I was entertained by a lot of it, but I was definitely left wanting more.
I'd probably give it
And
5.25 stars.
yeah. So that's where I'm at on it. And then the second match is Mystico versus Blake Christian, which I don't really remember much because I was falling asleep. But I can't imagine it was very good.
Well, all right.
You put that squarely on Mystico's shoulders.
Yes. I love Vanilla Baby.
Okay. All right. Well, that kind of wraps us up for what we've been watching. Is there anything going up on the site or that's gone up on the site over the past week? I think
Oro's holding us down, pretty much.
Kuro is the sole proprietor of this website. He does own it at this point because no one else is putting up nearly as much as him. And that's just how it is. I don't have anything that I can say is coming on the pipeline. So, anyone else got anything in the works here?
The death panel will be out at some point within the first week of July. I am, anyone who wants to contribute to it. I think Tim said he wants to write something for it.
I may write about Lil Sicko versus Drake Younger.
Go for it. I mean, the whole goal is to have short things because I think we're in a renaissance for people writing long form wrestling criticism, and this is much more ADHD than that.
Much like deathmatch wrestling.
I mean, this is deathmatch fans. We need to cater to them, their attention
Absolutely.
spans.
Meet them where they are. All right.
Yeah, Lucha Roundup coming soon. Did anyone have podcasts this week?
No.
I know, yeah, Porik is on hiatus. Yeah, QT didn't post this week. Because I know Dig Deep did not post this week.
No, QT was posting hot and heavy, but they did not post in the past week. From Thursday to Thursday.
It was too damn hot to podcast.
It was
That's the
too
problem.
damn hot.
Hot to podcast. I'm always saying this. I'm always saying this. It's time for the big top. It is the third ever Violent People Hall of Fame nominees episode. If you have not listened to our other episodes,
Stop
well, you're in for a
immediately.
treat.
Oh,
Yeah, take a break here. Go back to those. They're labeled in ways that are going to be very confounding, so you might not figure out which episodes are which. But you'll think. I think you got it. I trust you implicitly to nail this. But we are going to be doing a bit of a draft sort of situation where each of us will end up picking 5 wrestlers to nominate into the Violent People Hall of Fame. And then we will take it to you, our wonderful, beautiful listeners, and allowing you to pick a select number of names to go into the Hall of Fame. And everyone that gets over 60% will enter. Rules are that if you get nominated but don't make it into the Hall of Fame, you are not eligible for the next Hall of Fame nominee episode. So without further ado, here are the folks that are not eligible to be drafted to be nominated tonight, and I'll tell you who is already in the Hall of Fame. So we have a quick reminder for the folks at home. Folks that cannot be nominated this evening: Brock Lesnar, Carlos Colon, CM Punk, Daisuke Akita, El Dandy, Eddie Guerrero, George Hackenschmidt, Hayabusa, El Hijo del Santo, Homicide, Mick Foley, Mr. Ganosuke, The Sandman, Tarzan Ghetto, and Tracy Smothers. And as a reminder, our current Hall of Famers are Aja Kong, Tony Inoki, Asushi Onita, Gejihiro Tenryu, Jay Briscoe, John Cena, Jun Kasai. All right. Low Key, Necro Butcher, Sabu, Smojo, Dairy Funk, Vader, and Yoshihiro Takayama and Yuki Ishikawa.
14 out of 15
All right.
ain't bad, folks.
Say 19 out of 50 out of 20? I mean
14 out of 15.
14 out of 15. If I could count, that'd be fantastic.
It's on a sheet. There's numbers next to them.
Yeah, but you gotta subtract one. I didn't.
You do, yeah. You gotta do some
Yeah,
math.
I
There.
added
You're right.
4.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
Get with it. Who's going first?
I have just randomized the order,
Okay.
and I am putting it in
Not
the
gonna tell us this
spreadsheet.
bullshit.
It is Pat
Yep.
first,
hmm
Sam, myself, and then Dan.
Oh wow. Okay.
So Pat, take it away.
Okay, so I'm looking at my list of potential nominees. I think I got to go big on the first one. I got to go with someone. Actually, point of order. You said that wrestlers can be nominated. Can we nominate non-wrestling figures for their services to professional wrestling?
Yes.
Yes.
We have
Okay.
Big Love and Dean in the past.
Good,
We'll say
because
we made it.
I'm not sure this person has ever been in a listed person in a wrestling match, but their contributions are immense. They cannot be duplicated. No one can do it like this man does. I am nominating Rob Black.
Oh my god.
I think his body of work in XPW speaks for itself.
I'm glad you put that
His
little
body of work
clarifier
in
there.
other areas
Mm.
also speaks for itself.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So when I was putting together my big board here, I was thinking about like some truly violent people, like the nastiest of the nasty, like some straight
I
up,
think I already covered the nastiest.
some some straight up killers. Yep, that's right. Nominating Kevin Sullivan.
When you said
Straight
killer,
up
I thought you were
killer.
going to go with Scott Hall.
We got to get to the bottom of this Kevin Sullivan thing.
We're already there, brother. We're already there.
Oh,
What do you know?
all right. All right.
I have to do it with my first pick. Because he's eligible again. Because you better get it fucking right this time. I'm nominating Black Terry.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets a death bump. Maybe you've all seen matches of his now, and you fucking know. And if you don't, we're closing the Discord and we're ending the site.
So
only
between
makes
Black
sense.
Terry and Rob Black, one of them has the potential to be the first black person in the Hall of Fame.
Aja Kong.
Thank
Oh
God.
yeah, I forgot.
I like scanned over to the list real fast. I'm like, oh. Listen, my first number one pick, it was my instant number one because we used to do this for there'd be a punishment. Whoever got the least amount of ones in. We don't do that anymore. But I got a lot of pushback given that saying this person doesn't belong in a Hall of Fame. So put your money where your mouth is, people. Jeff Cannonball. He's gonna run away with it.
That's a little much. It's a little much.
I think you're gonna find that our voting body, he's gonna get like votes from like the Dan Rice brained members of the vote, but I think that he would come in underneath like Swerve Strickland if someone said Swerve Strickland.
Okay, it's tough for me to follow up. I got to go again right away, but I'm gonna do it wasn't my number two, but what Sam made me shoot him up. Chris Benoit.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't gonna take him.
I just got worried about it. I didn't know if he'd come back around.
And my second pick, I am going for an influence pick. I'm going with Giant Baba.
All right. All right. I'm gonna get real. So the first actual nominee, I guess. Abdullah the Butcher. We got some old folks in there. Some old folks.
Our Discord famously knows a lot about old wrestlers.
they're really,
Has
really
seen a
smart
lot
with
of
that.
it.
They see it, they like it, they know all about it. Who's more likely to get more votes? Giant Baba and Abdullah the Butcher, or Rob Black?
Before Pat goes, I'd like to read a quote that I found about our Discord. I forgot to share with you guys. This is from Connor of the VOW Voices of Wrestling Discords.
Oh,
have you seen this already?
No, I want to hear it. I'm surprised you didn't let me know.
I found it. I completely forgot to send it, and like something just now just triggered it. We said the Violent People Discord is basically this, which is they're replying to young contrarian know-it-alls. Sorry, so they're replying to Suit Williams saying young contrarian know-it-alls. The Violent People Discord is basically this: take the anti-smart aspect of DVD VR, remove the historical knowledge, and add a layer of ignorance and dismissiveness. And I think we should make that an ad.
All right, they fucking nailed it.
I mean,
they got it spot on. It's like shit.
Sorry, kids.
Right
to filth. When they're right, they're right. Anyway, Pat, you can go now.
I can go now. I am going to nominate another promoter. This one, I
Jesus.
think people will consider a much more serious nomination than the other one. But I'm going to go with the founder of AAA, Antonio Pena.
All right. All right.
I think
I
if you
did
know
think
anything about the history of Lucha Libre, before WWE brought it legitimacy, there was AAA, and it was Pena's vision. I think he is honestly maybe like the most creative pound for pound best promoter of all time.
Him or Rob Black, like they're neck and neck.
Well, Rob Black, he listened to the wrong people. Rob Black shouldn't have put Shane Douglas in charge.
Goes my
all
next
right, Pat, you're
pick.
back up again.
I'm back up again. I'm looking over my list. I'm going to stay in Mexico for this one. I'm going to go with a man beloved by all, especially by young know-it-all dipshits or whatever the voices of wrestling guys said we were. I'm going to go with Brazo de Plata, aka Super Porky.
Hell yeah. Love that one. Love
If you
that
people don't vote for this guy, fuck you.
one.
That's my pitch. Like, vote him or fuck you.
There's nothing more to it than that. All right. Let's give it up for Buzz Sawyer. Buzz Sawyer. Just plant them right in the middle there. One of them nasty dogs. One of them nasty dogs.
I'm gonna go with a more contemporary pick that
Mm.
I'm surprised we haven't gone to before. But I mean, we have some of his contemporaries on the board, past and present already. So I'm going with the King Nick Gage.
All right. Love
And
it.
that's you're putting him in for his recent body of work.
Yes, yes.
Oh, my
This is
God.
2025. It's like when you have like a WWE game and they have like Nick Gage 25.
Yeah, nothing prior to 2024. Or maybe like pre-2000 we can consider as well.
If he gets in, I'm so tempted to like use one of those pictures where he has hair.
With your lead up, Chris, I really thought you were about to snipe my guy, because he's another more modern guy that I thought maybe we had nominated, but he's not on the list. Eddie Kingston.
It's a good one. Good one.
That Eddie Kingston is the one out of everyone named so far. He's the one where I'm like, okay, he's going to go in with like a 90%.
Yes. Yes. The youth love Eddie Kingston.
Then my next pick is a subject of a ongoing column on the site, definitely not discarded and forgotten about. The world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock.
Wow. Was on my list. Definitely thought about nominating.
I
person
thought you were nominating Grom Zaza.
Oh, because that is going to continue. I'm working, guys. I'm working on it.
he's out here cooking. You love to hear it. All right, Chris. We're in the
Oh,
heat. Or not. Do whatever floats your boat, I guess.
fuck it. Grom Zaza.
Oh, that hurts a little.
Wow. Wow. That's embarrassing for Dan. Let me
It
tell
really
you.
is. Like I have to support that pick. I don't know what to do.
Oh my goodness. You would think you'd have at least tried, Dan. But
You think I
guess
could have
not.
done Ken and Grom. I could have just left Eddie on the table, but I fucked that up. What are you gonna do?
No, it was better for you to know that people would not vote in Jeff Cannonball than to vote in Grom Zaza.
Oh, I don't regret that one at all. I want Jeff Cannonball there. I'm bolding it if I'm doing that.
Oh my god. All right. I am selecting Kana. Yeah, feels like first woman on the board. I pick 14 or no 17. So there we go. Put him on the board. Put him on the board. She is badass. So
She is. That's a
there
good
we
pick.
go.
We're calling her Kana.
Wait, how do you pronounce it, Dan?
Oh, is this not Asuka?
Yes, it is.
I just thought she's been in WWE a decade, you know.
Still real to me, damn it. You know.
All right. I'm sorry. I just letting you know it's not like she's not a recent signee. She's been there a long time.
I don't know what you want from me, Dan. I don't know what you want from me. I'm a man of. I'm stuck in my ways. Stuck in my ways.
BJW or BJPW. Shit.
I wish we could have like the giant graphic appear in the middle of the.
I wish we did kind of like at least some sort of sound effect that when you fucked up like that go off. All right, Pat. Who is
So now I'm tempted to put to the test who's going to get more votes. Well, I think I know who's going to get more votes, but by what margin? I guess I'm wondering. So we're going to have in this same voting period Eddie Kingston and my next pick, Roosh.
Hey guys, if Super Porky, Roosh, and Black Terry don't get none of those get on, I actually have concerns.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean,
What are you gonna do?
the thing is, you know, Voices of Wrestling, people on their Discord can call us dipshits, they can call us assholes, they can call us gay, they can call us whatever. They can't call us racist. That's the one thing I refuse to let Voices of Wrestling have over us.
Yeah, only we can call us racist.
Right, exactly. It's one of those things where it's like if you're part of the family, you can say whatever, but if someone outside the family speaks ill, forget about it. And speaking of speaking ill, my last pick is going to be Vampiro.
Ah,
Great pick.
damn
Great
it.
pick.
Sorry. I can change it if you were going to go with Vampiro. I can change it.
No. I want you to have it because I have a backup.
You want my the black mark against my name. I just want if people doubt that Vampiro should be in, they need to look up the clip of him farting so loud on commentary at Triple Mania that it is picked up by his headset.
We really should have. What we should have done is we should have all nominated luchadors, force the people's hands.
I mean, aside from Rob Black, that's what I was doing. I thought
True.
someone else was gonna go for Ella Park again, so that's why I crossed him off my list and wrote in Rob Black.
I will not be nominating a luchador this evening. I will leave it to these fine gentlemen. I will nominate Chris Hero.
He's kind of a luchador.
You know what? You're so right. He is kind of a luchador.
He's in the Super Porky tradition.
Truly. Chris Hero, a wrestler that no one has said a bad thing about. For certain. For certain.
And my last pick, a truly violent person, for what he has done to people's brains, including people on our very Discord. The one, the only Mr. Dave Meltzer.
Ooh. It sickens me to the idea that Dave gets in before Dean. That would just be how our Discord is, I guess.
You know what? Let's put it to the test. Dean,
We
back
get
on the board.
the question: who's
Dean,
gonna
if people don't vote him in, they're canceling the Daniel Makabe Brian Danielson match.
That's
I
already
s-
booked.
It's already booked unless you fans don't want it.
The real
up to you.
question is, I wish we could go back and check the data. Who's going to get more votes, Dave Meltzer or John Cena?
Well, Dave doesn't stand a chance against John Cena.
I don't know. I mean, it would be the same impulse behind both picks.
Wow, we have quite the list of nominees here that I'm looking at. So well done on us.
This is probably our best lineup yet. I don't know how they're gonna pick.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Something's happening here. Something magical is happening here. So I'm going to be posting this episode with the form to fill out. You do not need to select all available slots. Pick as many candidates that you feel are worthy. But we're not going to have a 3-week delay in getting it to you. So
It's going to be a
that's
4-week delay. So.
It's going to be a 4-week delay. It's going to be a full month, folks. This is an end of summer sort of situation we're looking at here. All right. Time for questions.
Sam, do you mind if I you read the questions, but I have 2 to start with?
I'd rather you just read the
Because
questions for sure.
oh, okay, I can do that as well. But I had someone reach out to me privately. Tim would like to know. He didn't want you guys to have any forewarning. With this being the last episode of VPR of Pride Month, what was the gayest match you watched all month?
That's a trick question. They're all gay matches.
I don't know what that means.
Mine's probably Mad Dog versus Dick King, just for the way it made me feel.
Okay.
Drake Younger versus Lil Sicko.
Oh, that's a good one.
Obviously.
That would piss Drake off so much.
Yeah,
That would get him fucking riled up, man.
Iceman King Parsons and Brian Adonis versus Super Destroyers. Just
The next
Just
question is
vibe
from Dan Rice on the Discord. If you had to choose to go to 2 shows, they're identical. They're both featured. It's gonna have, no matter what, it's gonna have Cowpoke Paul. It's gonna have Josh Bishop. It's gonna have Betty D. It's gonna have all your West Virginia favorites. But one of them's gonna have Cruel, Caleb Conley, and Suicide, and one is gonna have Rick Morton, Kerry Morton, Lord Cruel, and Aaron Williams. Which one do you go to?
So wait, they're getting Caleb Conley and Suicide?
They got them both somehow.
Jesus Christ.
I just got a decision to make. I can't go to them both. I just got a decision to make.
Just on the off chance that there's a chance to get a photo with Suicide doing the iconic Suicide pose, I got to go with that one.
I would go see All Japan Pro Wrestling superstar Lord Cruel.
All right. Sam, tiebreaker.
Suicide.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, guys. It's mostly a trick question. I can't make the one with Suicide and Cruel, so I'm trying to tuck myself into the other one being better. They moved the ring time up. It's like 6 p.m. ring time, and it's like an hour away. I'm not gonna make it. What are we gonna do?
Why are we doing this, Dan? Why are we doing
No,
this?
it just happened today that I noticed, and I was just thinking about y'all. All right. You want me to ask these questions?
I can
Nick-
do it, I think.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
I don't know if this is actually the first proper question because no one asked for questions yet. And it happens the day after the podcast came out last week. Diesel Bonk Crush asks, who is the biggest draw in VP? Who brings most eyes to the product?
Oh, I didn't consider that because Eamon gave 100% definitively the answer.
George Hackenschmidt.
I was doing a little
that
searching
it?
today. That's the answer. I mean, today, you know what post has the most views just as of June 26th? Hawkishman Holy Grail. Well, actually, the homepage, but what are you going to do?
So really, it's us that brings
It's true. It's
views.
what everyone wants.
Good gravy. Hackerschmidt has more views than our homepage in the past year by like thousands. All right. Asked and answered. All right. Can you ask this question, Dan? There's a lot here.
You asked me that right when I started coughing in the mic, so that's cool. All right. Nick Yeoman says, hello. As I am sure you're all aware, in their song Hall of Fame, the Irish soft rock band The Script suggests many ways to be inducted into a Hall of Fame. Be the fastest, be the best, be a King Kong, banging on your chest. My personal opinion is a King Kong Hall of Fame is too limited in scope to be a long-running thing. My question is, if you were in charge of who made it into the King Kong Hall of Fame, once you've gotten through the obvious choice, King Kong, would you be more likely to accept the application of King Kong Bundy, who is literally called King Kong but is not a giant ape, or someone like Mighty Joe Young, the monkey from Rampage, etc.? Who are King Kongs in the sense of being large monkeys but do not bear the name King Kong? Sorry, this question comes up all the time. I would induct Steve Wiebe.
Wait, did he say King Kong was a monkey?
He says ape.
Okay.
Oh, but then he also says large monkeys. He kind of
Oof. What a
stepped in
shithead.
it. Yeah.
And during Pride Month, no less. Yeah. Very good question. It needs a lot more consideration than I can provide for it right now. I will say that if you're going to have anyone in the King Kong Hall of Fame, it's probably got to be Billy Mitchell.
I
True.
knew someone would say that. That's why I said Steve Wiebe first. I hate Billy Mitchell.
I would also nominate Jibbs for the hit single King Kong. He had King Kong in the trunk. So I think you have to put Jibbs in the King Kong Hall of Fame. Also Currency. Currency also had a great song called King Kong.
Oh my god.
The
Me and my
band
buddy
Regular,
used to drive around with his subs just fucking blaring King Kong. He thought he was the coolest guy in the world.
He was.
the band Regular Fries had a half decent song called King Kong too. I don't know if anyone out there remembers Regular Fries, but they existed.
More of a Cajun fried guy myself. Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong.
I'd go funky
Expression.
if we're talking Kongs. If we're talking about real big monkeys. Funky.
We're talking about real big monkeys.
My sister, we were maybe at like a Walmart. We were somewhere, and she did a terrible job parking. It's just what she does. It's fine. And the guy getting out of the passenger seat next to her, like, is just eyeballing her, and then is eyeballing me, and he's got a giant Donkey Kong sleeve tattoo. And I was like, I don't know if that's the scariest thing. But then she says, "What if he just beat your ass like Donkey Kong?" I was like, "All right, you're right. I'll back down."
That guy's awesome.
Right. Question. Are Dippin' Dots still the ice cream of the future?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
One time, my nephew asked the guy serving Dippin' Dots, like, how you make Dippin' Dots. He's like, I don't know. We freeze it to like -1,000,000 and it becomes balls.
It
And
becomes
that can't.
balls.
So it becomes balls was like a line in our house for a long time, and I can't imagine that's the company line. I gotta imagine they have some other answer for that question.
All right. Well, the Smithsonian Magazine website did ask this question in 2013, to which I have discovered they did declare bankruptcy in 2011.
I mean, they're still around everywhere.
If you say so, Dan.
I
You
just
say
went
so.
to when I went to was it the zoo? I went to the fucking zoo and paid $13 per Dippin' Dot cup, and I bought 3 of them. That's $39, guys. That's stupid.
I asked because I went to a gas station today and they had the technology of Dippin' Dots, but it was not Dippin' Dots. And I was like, wow, we got some. I have not seen impersonators before, despite it being out there all this time. Is Dippin' Dots
They come in like a little
Nice.
plastic sleeve.
no little dishes? Little dishes.
Oh, okay. We have in the gas station around here. They have them where they're like in a sleeve, and you have to like push them up and eat them with your mouth, and it's weird. Doesn't come with a spoon.
Why
or
would you
anything.
do that? They're little balls. Why would you push the little balls?
No, because then they get all mushy and melty, right? Yeah, I didn't design it.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Is that they're little separate little spheres. Why would you? Okay. Anyway, that upset me. Thank you. Eamon, assuming all Japanese companies were available as partners, which matches would you book on an AEW show in Kirk Hall?
That feels like too big of a question.
Yeah, it's probably more of a big top situation of some sort. Do you want to table this one?
Yeah, my first thought is MJF versus Marufuji, but like we gotta really think about it.
We gotta really sit on this one. Hey,
Yeah.
Eamon, we're not gonna not answer this, but not gonna answer it today. And then Henry gives you his full card breakdown in like 0.2 seconds. So like we're real dumbasses for not being able to do it. Anyway, scroll. Uncle Money for VP Hall of Fame. Fuck us. How do we mess that one up? Boric, which wrestler that didn't go into politics do you think would have made the best politician?
I mean, it's Hogan.
Vampiro.
I think there's still a chance, but John Cena.
Surreal. That's surreal. Kevin Nash. His acting in the Detroiters made me go, yeah, he could sell me anything. He's just playing an ad salesman. Next question. By Pork again. If you had to make a physical violent people Hall of Fame, where would it be? Easy question. My basement.
I'd like it to be in the basement where they have those death matches, the XPW.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
If we're just considering basements.
Basements
It's
only.
it's got to be a basement. And the basement has a hot dog stand.
Basement has okay. No, I think these are all things we can arrange. Pat, where are these shows? Where are these basement shows?
somewhere in Pennsylvania. I think
Okay.
what was one? I think it was listed as Horsham, Pennsylvania. I don't know if that's a real place.
It does not.
I don't
sound
want
like
to
it.
spoil MLW because I know we're all upset that we can't watch it live, but they just strapped up Tom Pestock and Donovan Dijak, new tag champs, the Skyscrapers.
Tom who?
What's his name? Baron Corbin.
Okay. I thought his name was Bishop
The
Lancaster.
Nomad Bishop Dyer.
Oh,
See, there
tell
we go.
MLW's Facebook page that they just popped it up and it says Tom Pestock. So they don't even know what his own name is in their own company.
Tom Pescott. That's crazy.
I can't
That's a
wait until
choice.
that's our big top.
We always have
Watch
to
Summer of the
make
Beast.
MLW shows. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Well, that's not their fault.
They tagged him, yeah.
Yeah, he puts himself out there like this on Instagram because he's like an actor or something.
He does a lot of food stuff on TikTok.
Yeah, he's someone that I'm like, there's like a non-0% chance I work with this person at some point.
It's really funny because I just remember he fucked up smoking like a ton of meat, and I thought that was fun. Like he just was like, "You guys were right. I did that wrong," and just threw away like $300 worth of meat.
Oh man. Anyway, he's gonna become friends with Moist Critical probably, and then I'm gonna have to figure out something.
Moist Critical
Anyway.
in the news.
What happened?
Isn't there some kind of what's going on with video games? You guys trying to kill them? Stop killing them.
Oh,
Stop.
I think it's something different. I think it's something different. I'm
He's
sure
not involved in that.
anything.
I don't know anything about it. I only scroll past that stuff.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Chromap, Atlantis or Atlantis? He spells it the same way, but I can tell.
I get what that was very impressive that you did that.
I mean, gotta be Atlantis just because we are so good at pronouncing names correctly on this show.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep. Perfect answer. We have 2 more questions that came in because I asked during this episode for more questions. Logan, what's your opinion on the current trajectory of AEW's future? I don't know, man.
I think it's kind of like WWE where I think it doesn't matter. Like none of it matters. Like it doesn't matter
right.
who's buying tickets. Doesn't matter what the creative is. Like billionaires are gonna billionaire. It's fine.
Yeah,
It seems
sure.
it seems pretty good right now.
I'm fine with this
But-
answer.
Listen to Dig Deep.
That's where you're gonna get your real answers.
That'll be a much
You
more
can
helpful
listen-
answer to this.
You can listen to the Flay Blazer give you that answer for 3 hours.
They're hot on the product right now. They say it's good, and I trust them. Thumbs up, my dude.
I largely agree with them on many aspects of the AEW product.
Hell yeah. Question from Cole. Did you vote for Zoran Mamdani in the New York Democratic primary?
Absolutely, I did.
I did like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, I had 20.
Shit, Chris, you're putting in the work.
Yep. Yep. I thought someone was about to ask us a question in here, but they stopped typing, so I'm gonna say they're not gonna circle back on that one. So that's all the questions for this episode.
We did it.
I feel like we talked about wrestling for a while, and still, episode's about an hour and a half. Hour and a half. Any closing remarks from any of you folks?
Vote early and vote often.
Well, don't vote often. You can't. I'm gonna make you have to put your email in.
Fame. Yeah.
He's gonna
You
make
guys
you put
can
an
put
email
that-
in. You can make as many Gmails as you want. That's what
Well,
no
yeah.
one tells you.
Now, if you're willing to make Gmails, I'm gonna let you submit as many as you want. That seems fair.
My closing remark is just to ask if you guys are going to play Death Stranding too.
I am not.
Is that on PC yet? Like when I know that
I have
they'll
I have no idea. I have a PS5, so I don't have to think about those things. We only get one game a year, so
It looks
It
like
is
it's PlayStation
currently-
exclusive.
is currently PS5 exclusive. I might play it when it comes out on PC in like a year.
when you can mod it so that like Norman Reedus is just wearing cool clothes the entire time.
Yeah, I want to make Guillermo del Toro naked.
You're the only person on earth who's ever said that sentence.